Hey everyone, it's your friend Thinknoodles, and welcome back to Ask Think for October of 2016. It's so cold here in New York. Actually, we haven't seen the sun since we got back from Grand Cayman on Wednesday night. It's Monday morning, and I still haven't seen the sun, and I'm not exaggerating. It's cold and depressing. But anyway, in last month's video, I asked you guys if you could make a movie, what would the name of the movie be, and I guess a summary of the plot. So we'll start with Onaiwa and Jolly Gamon, and they said they would make a movie based off a book he is writing called The Dimensional Doorways. In it, every movie series, TV series, book series, or video game has a dimensional wand. There's only one dimensional wand for each world, so if you want to use a wand to go to a world, you can't get back to the world you were in before, unless the wand of that world is in the world you were in. Example, if you're in Ninjago and use a wand to Harry Potter world, you can't get back to Ninjago unless the Ninjago wand is in the world you're in, which is very unlikely. The main character's name is Mayix, and a lot of her history is intertwined with a Ninjago history. It's like, this is kind of like fan fiction. Each wand is made of a material only found in the wand that it goes to. Jeff Feety, that main villain, is trying to collect the dimensional wands because he's trying to create a wand that can travel to any world, but you need something really rare and super hard to get from several different worlds. That sounds awesome. Logan Kerr says if I made a movie, it would be called Fallout the Movie. It would be based on the video game, and it would be about a person surviving in a post-nuclear war, and the world is completely destroyed by an atomic bomb. They would have Chris Pratt play as the main character, and the villain would be The Rock. Why? Because he's The Rock. Sean the Man, 21//Cheeseburger Kitty says, if I could make a movie, it would be an animated film called The Burrito and Taco Movie, and it would be about Burrito the kitten and Taco the tadpole, which I was expecting to be about food, but they're two homeless animals traveling the world trying to meet a family who loves them. They would meet the Queen, action heroes, they would stop evil Russian spies, and of course, me, Thinknoodles, I would voice Burrito the Kitchen, and Taco the Tadpole, you would voice yourself. Arnold Schwarzenegger would be the evil Russian spy. King Squishy would voice the Queen. Chris Pratt and Paul Rudd would voice the action heroes. Toby Fox and Kopi would make a cameo. It would be a very 80s feel movie and would have a lot of references. It would be very sweet and funny and emotional movie. Someone give me the rights to Hollywood. Thanks for reading a Noodle on, and the opening credit song would be Come and Get Your Love. But you know what? It's funny, a lot of people in the movies always casted Chris Pratt as the protagonist. I thought it was really funny. Well, I guess this one's not the protagonist, but either way, still Chris Pratt. Two Very Icy Gaming. My movie would be The Final Maid. It would be based around Marcus Anderson, a 14-year-old kid who lived in Minnesota. Strange things happen around him. For example, when he was in 4th grade, a kid was going to take something out of the blue. A slow and purple aura went around both Marcus and the kid, then vanished, and the kid ran off screaming. Was later hospitalized for 9 months due to brain disease. At a middle school, someone was making fun of him. When the lights shatter, a cold wind blows through, and a semi-transparent but solid creature appears, bites the kid's finger, and vanishes. The lights fix themselves, and the rude kid is suspended in a really early memory. Mark is in preschool. When he loses a tag, he gets upset, falls over, and starts to cry that the people that beat him suddenly can't move, and it's like the earth is reacting to his sadness. The plants and vines engulf Mark's schoolmates. The vines suddenly combust into flames and burn to ashes. Hopefully didn't burn the other kid. But and this looks like really long and detailed, but guys, there were like 4 other comments with more details of this story. So they really thought this through. Project Enchanted says, oh my goodness, I'd make a movie about the book I'm writing. It's called Secrets Uncovered. It's about a girl who goes against her nation to explore the meadows. The main character, Sylvia, and her friend Evelyn run away to the meadows after realizing that their parents are being brainwashed. They later figure out that everyone in their nation have been genetically engineered to be who they are. She has a rare gene of keen eyesight, and her friend has super sense, like when you sense someone's behind you. They team up to stop the genetic mutations. Don't worry, it will all be tied together in the book and second movie. Impossible Dreamer Mythical Beast says, I'd make a movie about lamps, specifically fancy lamps. Don't ask me why. All right, guys, so next month's question, and I think this is directed to me, but I think it's a good question for all of you. So X Owl Lover X asks, what was the first song you remember learning the words to, not counting nursery rhymes or theme songs of television shows or movies or whatever? So what she means is, what was like, a pop song, a song on the radio, your favorite song, whatever it was. What is the first song you remember learning the words to? Now, before we get to the questions for me, I want to remind you to leave your questions in the comments below so I can have something fun to answer in the next episode of Ask Think. Remember, only one question per comment, but you can leave as many comments as you like. Also, if the comments on this Ask Think are closed, of course, go to the most recent Ask Think and ask your question there. On to the questions, and the first one is from Isabel Honoro, and she asks, is your wife's name actually Think's wife? No, of course not. As my actual name is not Thinknoodles. Some people call me Justin, some people call me Think, some people call me Thinknoodles. My wife calls me other things sometimes. But her name is actually Rochelle. I just use Think's wife because it's like someone calling me Thinknoodles to you guys. However, with all of our friends, and when I refer to her generally not on camera, I call her by her name. Captain Slushy asks, hey Think, did you hear about the bombing in Chelsea, New York? I know you were gone when it happened. Yes, we did, and yes, we were gone. We used to live around there, only about 8 blocks from it. But we have a couple of friends who live maybe about 2 blocks away from it, and they were completely fine. They heard it, and they said that it was a noise that they'll never forget. But everyone that we know was perfectly fine. Mimi LaRue says, Think, like a year ago, I went to New York. I can't see how many times I've walked up and down the streets looking for you, and I could not find you. If we want to see you where we could kind of bump into you on a daily basis, because I know you walk Kopi, I'm eventually planning on going to New York again, and I really want to meet you. Warning, if I see you, I might cry. Aww. Well, keep an eye out. I mean, there are not a lot of golden retrievers, and especially not golden retrievers as cute as Kopi. And if you see one, I find that there are very few golden retriever owners that don't let anyone pet their dog. I let everyone pet Kopi. Most golden retriever owners, since golden retrievers love humans and love interaction with them, allow anybody to pet them. So don't be afraid to ask. Even if it's not me, they'll be friendly, and the dog will be super friendly as well. Rolando Rios asks, are there a lot of robbers in New York? No. I mean, New York is really a safe city. It's always so crowded. There's always so much going on. I mean, of course, in any city, there are dangerous areas and dangerous people. That's just the nature of being human beings. There are just some people that are robbers, but there's not a lot of them at all. And if you come to New York, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Girlinator Minecraft asks, I think I'm Australian. Can you please explain the American school system, freshmen, etc.? In Australia, we have prep, and then year 1 through 6 is primary, then 7 through 12 is high school. After year 12, you go to university. Most schools have prep to year 12 in the one school. Mulan. Well, in the US, it's really similar. We just call things a little differently. Year 1 through 5 and sometimes 6, I think it depends on the state. For me, when I was in 6th grade, so 1 through 5 was elementary school, which is your primary school. It's also called primary school here, but most kids call it elementary school. Elementary school. I don't know why I said elementary school. Elementary school. And then when I was in 6th grade, it was 6th grade through 8th grade was middle school. And generally, like I said, that could be just 7th and 8th grade, or it could be 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. 9th grade is always high school in the US. So 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade are all high school. And those years, 9th is freshman, 10th is sophomore, 11th is junior, and 12th is senior. After that, we go to university, which is also called college. A lot of times people in the US say college, which means other things abroad. And in the US, there's a designation between colleges and universities. If you go to a place that's a college, it doesn't mean it's any less of a higher education or anything like that. It just means that that particular organization does not have any graduate programs. It only has undergraduate, which is, a bachelor's degree in arts or science or whatever. It doesn't have any master's degrees or PhDs or anything like that. Then it's called a college. If that school also has master's programs, it would be called a university. So that is pretty much it, I think. So as you can see, it is quite similar. We just have, I guess, colloquial terms for certain years. Gamer Josh asks, think if you go to a planet, what planet would it be? I must know so I can go with you. Well, I know this is kind of a joking kind of question. However, there's been a lot of news about Elon Musk's, I guess, goal or vision to get human beings to Mars. And I think he wants it there within the next 10 years, I think. So, I mean, I guess at this point, there's really only one choice. So if I could go to a planet, which maybe I could, I guess it would be Mars. Okay, so this question has been asked quite a bit over the last 6 months or so, and as of late, and especially on this video, it sort of reached a fever pitch, and that is, think what happened or where is Things Lab? So first of all, as most of you know, although new people to the channel may not have ever even seen an episode, maybe not, Things Lab is a creative series that I started way long ago, where I would just take mods and my minions and we would have adventures and things like that. And, well, first of all, the modding community, things, as there are a bunch of different versions of Minecraft that have Forge available, I think 1.7.10, 1.8, and 1.9 are the three. There's nothing for, I don't know about 1.10 actually, but so that sort of disjointed the modding community because they had to keep, basically because those are the three versions being actively played by people, they had to keep 3 versions of their mods working, and that's tough to maintain with the different, I guess, API. It's not really an API because it's not provided by Mojang, but either way, they were having to maintain 3 copies of their mods, and that takes up a lot of time. So there hasn't been a lot of innovative development in the modding community. It was starting by the time my series, by the time I stopped making Things Lab episodes, there was very little new stuff out there. And I had covered so many in the 200 plus episodes that I'd done before that there wasn't a lot left that I could come up with ideas for. Now, also back then, so part of the success of Things Lab is that I was doing it twice a week. So in the beginning, when there were not a lot of episodes of it, that was like, oh, I want more. There's only 10 episodes, and I put out 2 more, and people wanted more and more and more. And as time went on, twice a week starts to overwhelm people. And once we got up to like 200 episodes, the interest had died off so much in Things Lab, to the point where people would post comments on my other videos, complaining about people, asking for minions in all my videos, people saying, or in other videos where I'd reference Things Lab or put a minion in it, you'll be like, I hate Things Lab, that's all you ever do, you don't really do anything else, it's so annoying, do other stuff. So that started to become part of an issue, and the viewership had declined so much, and Things Lab took up so much of my time when I was making it. Twice a week, to you might think, maybe it's a 15-20 minute video. It's not a lot, I mean, big deal, right? But these videos would take me, it would take me a few hours the day before to kind of think of the idea, start making sure that all of the mods worked together, that the things I wanted to do were available in that version of Minecraft, and then building a set for it and coming up with the plot and making sure everything worked, and then recording it for a few hours and then editing it for a few hours, and then all these things put together, I was spending most of a week just to make those 2 episodes, and then in between I would just squeeze in time and say, oh, I have to have a video for today, I'm just gonna make this. And then as soon as I made that video, I would just constantly worry about, what am I doing in Ask Think? What am I doing tomorrow for Ask Think? I gotta make an Ask Think tomorrow. And I got, I was squeezing in videos and not putting 100% effort into my Let's Plays and things like that. And so when I stopped making Things Lab, it gave me all this freedom, and I felt, wow, I can play this, I can play that, I can, I'm not constantly worrying about it, and I feel like my other content has been elevated. I think, at least I think. Anyway, but I do miss Things Lab just like you guys, and I miss the minions, I miss playing with them, but and I don't want to get to a point where I'm going to be making them twice a week again and sort of killing myself to come up with plot ideas and themes and stories and stuff like that. Maybe even once a week might be too much pressure. Twice a month maybe, or once a month maybe. I might consider bringing it back, but I cannot come back to the point where I'm doing it twice a week. It was just so much pressure, and constantly searching the forums and trying to find new mods and new ideas from mods. It was so much pressure, and I don't want to get to that point again where the rest of my content suffers, and also like my life suffers, because I'm constantly stressing over it. So what happened is I've taken a 6-month break thus far, and I definitely do plan, and I will make another one. I don't know when, but I will, and I'll gauge the response and the viewership and see how it is, and see whether it really is something that needs to be on the channel a certain number of times per month or whatever. So for those of you guys who are looking for it and really want it, it will come back. Might be rare, but it still will come back. And when you do see it, make sure that you watch it, make sure that you share it and you like it, and comment on it and give me feedback on it, so that I'm encouraged to work together with you guys to make them better and as often as possible. Sorry about that, guys. So, X-Owl Lover X asks, what was your favorite part of vacation in Grand Cayman? Swimming with Kopi. Really loved that. Looked forward to that. We swam with her every day in the ocean. It was really special, and she looked forward to it so much, and I loved seeing how excited and enthusiastic she was when we could all whisper it. Because if she hears that, she will jump up and start running around crazy, and I wouldn't want to do that to her. The Headphone Gamer asks, do you get to pick your ads? Because a lot of gaming channels have like gaming ads. No, we don't. We do, if I remember correctly, have an option to say we only accept family-friendly advertising. It might be through my MCN, I'm not sure. But as far as what plays at the beginning of each video, we absolutely have no choice. However, the gaming channels have gaming ads because it makes sense, because you guys are watching videos about video games, so it makes sense for an ad for video games to come up on it. All is a game asks, did you ride a skateboard in your life? Yes, I did. When I was in the first 2 years of high school, 9th and 10th grade, I rode a skateboard. Actually, maybe 8th grade. Yeah, it was 8th, 9th, and 10th grade. Near the end of 10th grade, I started inline skating and kind of ditched my skateboard. Luca Lily Marcolini asks, what brand of dog food do you give to Kopi? We give her solid gold Wolf King, and she has eaten that ever since she was a baby. Rage Monster asked, did Kopi ever run away? No. We keep her on a leash almost all of the time, and that was actually a concern when we were in Grand Cayman. We were worried about what she would do when she was off the leash, swimming in the ocean. You can't keep a dog on a leash swimming in the ocean, right? Or even in a pool. And there's no fence. I mean, it's a long beach. She could just take off, and she was really good. One, because she just wanted to swim and fetch, but two, she just always hangs around us, even when we're in dog parks here in New York. When we let her off the leash and she goes off to one corner, and if I'll hide behind something, as soon as she realizes she can't see me, she comes looking and looks really anxious about, where did he go? Where did he go? I need to find him. So she's a really loyal dog, and I don't think she'd ever run away. Tiny Tina Tiger asks, any tips on dog training? It's just that I'm getting a dog and I have no idea how I'm going to train it. I think it'll be semi-easy because the breed is Morkie, which, if you guys don't know, that's half Maltese, half Yorkie, which is a very intelligent breed, but also small and enthusiastic. They are also very small, so I have no idea what to expect. Move on. Well, one of the best things that we did for Kopi, and I don't know, some people think it's not, I guess, some people think it's cool, but it isn't. We crate trained her. And I do recommend it to everyone that you crate train your dog until they're about 2 years old. And then after that, you can pack the crate away and never use it. But it really helps the dog to, especially when they're young, when you go out or when they're sleeping, that they don't wake up in the middle of the night or wake up while you're away and say, oh my goodness, I have to pee, and just walk to a corner of the bedroom or wherever they are, the bathroom or somewhere in your apartment or house, and use the bathroom. Inside the crate, won't. It's part of their natural, unless they really, really have to, and then they will, but it's part of their natural nature, their nature to not soil where they sleep. So they always sleep in the same spot. So they'll hold it until you get home, and then you just, as soon as you get home or as soon as you wake up, as soon as you let them out, you put their collar on and take them straight outside, and it's really, really easy to house train them. Embry22 asks, think, would you give up Kopi for anything in the world? You couldn't pay me enough of anything to get rid of my dog. No, I would not give up Kopi for anything in the world, and neither would my wife. The Chicken asks, hey, Think, have you ever thought about what you're going to do when you get older? I have no idea how much a YouTuber gets paid, but is it enough for a retirement plan? I hope to be a YouTuber when I grow up. I'm older. No. What I'm going to do when I get older, as in, like, when I am too old to work, or what? I've been pretty smart about investments that I've made and things like that, and also my wife happens to be a doctor, so I've planned for it. We have planned for it together, and we should be just fine. And being a YouTuber when you grow up, it is a good career. Berta112 IFY asks, any advice on a freshman year of college? I love watching your videos, even though I'm semi-new person to the channel, and your videos and Dan and James have helped make that move much easier. Well, I think that the best advice I can get on the freshman year of college is to balance your social life and your academic life. And what I mean by that is, don't get in, start college and be like, oh, I'm in college, I have to work hard and study, which, wait a minute, let's start that. You do have to do that, but what I mean is, don't think that that's all you should or have to do in college. Because if you do that, you're not going to enjoy college, and it should be one of the best times of your life. That said, don't just focus on the social life either. I made the mistake of focusing more on my social life and friends and having fun than my academic life in my freshman year. The first quarter, and we had a quarter system, so we had, I know it sounds weird, we had 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter would be your summer instead of having semesters. Wait, am I right about that? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe we had 4 quarters. I don't know. Anyway, it's been a long time. But yeah, so in the basically the first semester, I did a good job balancing social and academic. In the second one, I did a really poor job of it, and I was too busy hanging out with people and having fun and not paying attention to my studies. That said, I made great friends that I kept through all of college, but I paid for it academically. And so what I'm trying to say is, you really do want to pay attention to your academics, but also not so much that you don't make any friends, because these friends are friends you'll definitely have, that you make your freshman year, are friends you're going to have through your entire college career and maybe for the rest of your life. Austin Bruin says, think in November, specifically the 18th, Pokemon Sun and Moon come out. Which one are you going to get? I think they look really fun. I want to get Sun. The Legendary is Leon type. There are still rock, I think. And by think, I don't mean you. And Moon's Legendary is a bat-looking thingy. The types are Psychic Ghost. Which one are you going to get? Hope you get Sun, but Moon Legendary will be a beast. Why would you assume I would get any of them? Huh? Yeah, okay, so I'm going to get Pokemon Sun, and I'm also going to get I don't have a 3DS, so I'm going to get a 3DS, and I'm going to get one like the one Dan has for Tomodachi Life that you can record from. It's a special one, and then it's a regular 3DS, but it has a capture card built into it that you can get installed. So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to play it for my channel, and hopefully learn to play Pokemon properly. Zero Gravity asks, think, why don't you play Terraria? It's fun, and it's a fun-filled world of things to do. Anyway, I've tried it once for Fan Choice Friday, and I also tried it live streaming, and I'm just not good at that game. I don't know why my mind can't grasp it, but every time I play it, I just fall flat on my face. I really, really do. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I just can't play the game. Exoskelebot asks, how come you don't use the same thumbnail from the original Noodle Planet for Noodle Planet Season 2? Well, I wanted to use a new thumbnail in order to differentiate that it was a new season so that people who maybe didn't want to start up the Noodle Planet Season 1 at episode number whatever it was at, like 2 something or 3 something, I can't even remember at this point, because it was like, well, I'm not going to watch that many episodes to figure out what's going on. I wanted them to understand with the new thumbnail that it was a completely new thing. I mean, it had a little bit of a tie-in, but it was something you could just start at. And what was really interesting is when I started it with the new thumbnail, people said in the comments, the reason I didn't watch the original Noodle Planet was because of the thumbnail, because the thumbnail was always the same and there wasn't really anything exciting, and I just kept seeing it over and over, and they just didn't watch. So I'm glad I changed the thumbnail, and when I go back to the original Noodle Planet, it'll probably be, well, it'll have a 3 or something for Noodle Planet Season 3, and it'll be a slightly different thumbnail as well. Muhammad Ali God Alliance says, think, how do you fix the lag on Crazy Craft? Because mine lags. Well, unfortunately, that has to do with the number of mods and Minecraft itself. So the suggestions that I have is 1, install Optifine. That will help quite a bit. If you've already done that, second thing I suggest that you do is decrease your view distance to the point where it doesn't lag. Now, if that ends up being like 2 or 4, it's probably not very well playable at that, so you'll have to push it up to 8, and 8 is probably what I recommend as a minimum. But if it still lags, if you've got Optifine and your view distance set at 8, the only thing I can say is you probably need a faster computer, whether that be the processor or the video card. I don't know, but that's the final suggestion. Sorry. Thomas Guy 789 asks, think, can you do more Gang Beasts with James and Dan? Please, it's so funny. We love playing it too. It is so much fun. We can't stop laughing. But we're waiting for them to release the other maps into the multiplayer branch. Right now is still those only 3 maps. Is it 3 or 4? I think it's 3. And we wanted a variety of content to show you guys with the new maps and things. So we're waiting on that to come out. Faith Presnell asks, on a scale of 12 to 3, what is the best brand of staples? Roast beef sandwich? Yeah, I think so. Random. Anyway, guys, that's it for this episode of Ask Think. Don't forget to leave your question in the comments below so I can have something to answer in the next episode. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and please do subscribe. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. And of course, Noodle Line!